Objective 3, identify and explain cluster sampling. To perform a cluster sampling, a population is divided into subgroups and called clusters. Then simple random sampling is used to select some of the clusters. All of the individuals in those selected clusters form the sample. So for example, if we have a population, and within this population we have this cluster population. So here is our cluster population. So from this cluster population, we're going to randomly select these clusters. So here's a cluster from 1, 2, 3, 4 that we selected. And then over here we have 17, 18, 19, 20 that we randomly selected. Now for example, a researcher wants to test the conditioning of basketball players in the Western Conference of the NBA, which consists of the teams below. Each team has 15 players. The researcher wants to test the conditioning of 75 players using cluster sampling, where the clusters are the basketball teams. If 392 is used as a seed, which players will be included in a sample? So again, here are our numbers from 1 through 15. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take 75, because that's how many players that they want to test, and divide it by the 15 players for each team. So 75 divided by 15 is going to give us 5 teams. And so the next thing we want to do is go to our calculator, and we're using a seed of 392. And so we're going to store it. And therefore we have our 392. And then go back to the probability and go to our number 5. And so since each team has 15 players, we're going to go from 1 through 15. And we're selecting 5 teams. So we have 5, and then we hit enter. So we don't have any numbers that are repeating. So the fourth is number 4, which represents the Nuggets. 8, which represents the Spurs. 6, which represents the Rockets. 15, which represents the Lakers. And 3 represents the Jazz.